little learners. Welcome back to our pre-K and TK classroom. My name is Miss Laura. I'm going to be your teacher today. Hello. Now, I'd love for you to introduce yourself. So when I put my hand to my ear, tell me your name, because I'm going to try to catch your special letter and put it on my board. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Oh, I heard some names way over here in TV land. Let me see if I can guess your special letter. So today, I'm going to use a big line down, another big line, and then a little line in the middle. What letter have I made? That's right, the letter H. And the H makes a special sound. It says, like you're very hot. The H says, the H says, every letter makes a sound. The H says, okay, we're going to put that away because it's time to add a magnet to our 10 frame. Today is day 3 of the 5 days that we're going to be together. Now, do you remember what we're learning about? We are learning about Thanksgiving. It's a special time for us to gather with friends and family and share lots of yummy food and give thanks for everything that we have, isn't it? Now, I have a special turkey pokey song that I want to share with you to get our day started. Now, remember, you're going to need your wings, and you're going to need your waddle, and you're going to need your stuffing, and you're going to need your drumsticks. Can you guess what that is? Your legs. So stand up wherever you are. Make sure it's safe around you, and we'll stand up and do the turkey pokey. So let me stand up here. All right, getting my wings ready. Here we go. You put your right wing in, you put your right wing out, you put your right wing in, and you shake your right wing out. You do the turkey pokey, and you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. You put your drumsticks in, you put your drumsticks out, you put your drumsticks in, and you shake your drumsticks out. You do the turkey pokey, and you turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about. You put your stuffing in, you take your stuffing out, you put your stuffing in, and you shake your stuffing out. You do the turkey pokey, and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Last one. You put your waddle in, you put your waddle out, you put your waddle in, and you shake your waddle out. You do the turkey pokey, and you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. Oh, I love doing that song with you. I saw a lot of my turkeys dancing around. Now I think it's time to see what Miss Maria brought us today. Let's see. Let me get my door here. Now here is our letter. Now remember, we're starting at the left and going to the right and tracking our words as we read. Let's see what it says. Dear Miss Laura, I'm starting to get excited about Thanksgiving. Ooh, me too. Especially the food. Ooh, definitely me too. That's my favorite part, is all the delicious food we get to eat with our friends and family. What are some of your favorite foods to eat on Thanksgiving Day? Some of my favorite foods are pumpkin cheesecake. Have you ever had that? It's delicious. I also like to eat bread rolls. I stuff them in, and my cheeks get really puffy because I eat so many. But I do have a story of a little old lady, we've met her before, that has some very unusual things that she likes to eat. Look at this picture. She's eating a turkey. That's not unusual on Thanksgiving, but she does eat some things that maybe she shouldn't. So we're going to meet the little old lady and the story of there was an old lady who swallowed a turkey in our video story. Before we go there, I want to tell you what one word means. It's the word quirky. You're going to hear that in the story. It means strange, not the same as everyone else. So when you hear that word, you're going to know what it means. Okay, ready to watch our story? Let's watch it together. There was an old lady who swallowed a turkey. story time. There was an old lady who swallowed a turkey by Lucille Calandro, illustrated by Jared Lee, and retold by Miss Lara.
Turkey in a hay, hey, hey, roll 'em up, twist 'em up a high, tuck a haw, hit 'em in a tune called Turkey in a Straw.
There was an old lady who swallowed a turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a ball. She stood very tall as she swallowed that ball. She swallowed the ball to throw with the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a hat. Imagine that! She swallowed a hat. She swallowed the hat to cover the ball. She swallowed the ball to throw with the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a balloon. She felt as big as the moon when she swallowed the balloon. She swallowed the balloon to bump the hat. She swallowed the hat to cover the ball. She swallowed the ball to throw with the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a boat. It slid down her throat when she swallowed the boat. She swallowed the boat to anchor the balloon. She swallowed the balloon to bump the hat. She swallowed the hat to cover the ball. She swallowed the ball to throw with the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. I know an old lady who swallowed some wheels. She kicked up her heels when she swallowed those wheels. Woohoo! She swallowed the wheels to drive the boat. She swallowed the boat to anchor the balloon. She swallowed the balloon to bump the hat. She swallowed the hat to cover the ball. She swallowed the ball to throw with the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a horn of plenty. She could have swallowed 20 horns of plenty. Just then, the old lady heard a band. So she marched her way onto the grandstand. As the parade got underway, she wished everyone a Happy Thanksgiving Day. The end.
Turkey in the straw, ho, ho, turkey in the hay, hey, hey, roll 'em up and twist 'em up a high, tuck a haw, and hit 'em up a tune called Turkey in the Straw.
So what did you think of the old lady who swallowed a turkey? All that to get in a parade? Wow! Now I wanted to show you my favorite part of the story that didn't make it to the video story. Look, right down here, there's a little fish looking up like, why did you eat that boat, you crazy person? Lots of hidden characters in this book, so I hope that you check it out at your local library. Lots of different titles with There Was an Old Lady at the front of them. So we're going to practice a foundational skill now that's isolating beginning sounds. And that's just a fancy way of saying we're going to write and think about the first sound that we hear in a word. So I took some of the characters and things in our story, and we're actually going to write the beginning sounds today. So if you have a writing journal, you can bring it out now and practice writing your letters with me. So let's look at the first one. The first thing that the old lady ate was a turkey. Think about the beginning sound. T, t, t. Do you know what letter makes that sound? It's a T, that's right. And I'm going to write the T right here. To write our T, we do a big line down, and then we're going to do a little line across. That's a T. I'm going to make it nice and dark so you can see. T is the beginning sound of turkey. Now what's this? It's a ball. Now I know this is a special kind of ball called a football, and around this time a lot of people have a tradition to watch a game on television. So football has a special sound at the beginning. Let's see if you can hear it. F, that's right, F. So to make that letter, it's big line down, jump to the top, little line, little line. F is the beginning sound of football. Let's do another one. Hat. Ooh, that was our letter that I caught today. Do you remember what letter it was? H, that's right. So we're going to do a big line down, another big line, and a little line in the middle. H for hat. How about this one? She ate a balloon in the story, didn't she? But it wasn't shaped like this one. It was shaped like a dog. But balloon, special sound at the beginning is B, B, B. And what sound is that? It's a B, B. That's right. So we're going to do a big line down, little curve, and little curve. B is the beginning sound of balloon. Ooh, another one that I think has the same beginning sound is boat. B, B, B. Do you hear that? Another B. By now we're pros at writing B's. Big line down, little curve, little curve. Now here is another one. In the story, they called it a wheel, but I actually know it as a tire. But since we're keeping with the story, we're going to do wheel. What's the beginning sound? W, 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 w. Do you know that letter? It's a W. The W says W. I'm going to reach over here and write big line, up and down. That one looks a little bit like a zigzag, doesn't it? Big line down, big line across, and big line down. W for wheel. Now this one, I always knew it as a cornucopia, but I guess it's called a horn o' plenty. And it's kind of like a horn shape, and it has different foods coming out of it. So let's see. Horn. It's an H. So we're going to do big line down, little line across. We have a few more. Okay, now in this story, the little old lady heard a band, which is some music. And she heard it playing, and she's like, I want to be in the parade. So we're going to write the beginning sound of music. Like you're eating something delicious, like pumpkin cheesecake. What letter makes the sound? M, that's right. Now the M is like a W, but backwards. It goes big line down, line across, and big line down. M. Now the next thing I want to write is a dog, because if you get the book, you'll see a dog throughout the book doing silly things. Now let's think about the beginning sound of dog. D, 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 d. What letter makes a D sound? A D, that's right. Let's write that. Big line down, big curve, and last one. There was an old lady. We're going to call her Lady, because no lady likes to be called old. No. So lady, ooh, that's my special letter. It's L. L for lady and L for Lara. Hey, look at all these beginning sounds that we did together. We did T for turkey, F for football, H for hat, B for balloon, B for boat, W for wheel, H for horn, O plenty, M for music, D for dog, and L for lady. I hope that you continue to practice your beginning sounds. This one's a little more advanced with the writing, but some of you might be ready for that next step. So right now we're going to go over to our project place because if you remember, we're going to continue making our turkeys. So let's go over there. So for the last 2 days, we have made different turkeys. I'll show you in a minute. We made our collage turkey with our magazine cutouts, and then we made our leaf turkey. All beautiful textures, right? Now, texture is what we're going to use today to make our third turkey. We're actually going to be using different materials to create a texture turkey. Now, you might be thinking, Miss Lara, what is texture? Remember, texture is how things feel, and artists use texture in paintings and drawings to create depth and the feeling that you can reach out and touch something. So I have some materials here that you'll need to complete the project. You'll need some white paper. Now I have some brown fabric, but you can use brown paper to create the turkey body. I have googly eyes because of course turkeys are much better with googly eyes. Some glue, some red and orange paper, and lots of different materials to create textures. So what I would like you to do to create this activity is go around your house and find different scraps of things that you might be throwing away that you can use to create your textured turkey. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut out a turkey body. So we're going to do that with my fabric here. Now I was thinking about what a turkey body looks like, and it kind of looks like a peanut or a bowling pin. So, or number 8, or a snowman. But your turkey body can look like whatever you'd like it to look like. So here's what I made, like this. And then this is the kind of fabric that has some backing on it, so you can just stick it on like this. Makes it super easy, but otherwise you would just kind of glue it on. So here is what it looks like. That's the beginning of our textured turkey, and I have one already made here. Now the next part to this activity is looking for different materials that feel certain ways. So I want you to look at these materials. I have some cotton balls, some fabric, and I'm going to touch them and see how they feel. Ooh, they feel soft. So maybe you can find things around your house that feel soft. What other things might feel soft? Like the tops of Q-tips, that can feel soft. A feather can be soft. So now I'm going to create some feathers with my first texture, soft. So I'm adding some glue here next to the turkey. And then I'm going to add some fabric pieces on there and maybe some cotton so that when I touch my turkey for this art project, I'll know this is soft. I have some of my shark fabric. Do you remember that from our sewing when we did clothing? I just use little scraps of that. So you can use whatever scraps you have around the house. Again, don't go out and buy anything. I'm sure you have something in your house that you wouldn't mind using for this project. All right, we're going to put it down like this. And look, there's our first feather, our soft feather like this. Look at that. Now we're going to switch gears and go to a different texture. These are different pieces of fabric that are much rougher. When you touch them, they kind of almost hurt your fingers. And then I have some rocks here that you can use. Look at that. They're rough. And then I found little bits of sandpaper. If you have sandpaper around, just put your fingers over it. Rough. So we're going to make another feather that's rough. I'm going to use some of my glue here, glue it on. All right, and you're going to want to use as much glue as you need because some of these materials won't want to stick. You'll have to tell them, stick down. Of course, you'll want to get messy. All right, let's put some sandpaper. And should I add some of my rocks on here? Of course. I just went out and grabbed a little bit of rock, a little granite from where I was. All right, here we go. I'll add a little more sandpaper. I'll show you my feather. What other things around your house might you grab that are rough? All right, I'll show you what it looks like here. Here's what it's looking like so far. So we have soft and we have rough, and you might need a little more glue for this sandpaper. Let's go to our next one, which is bumpy. Now, do you know what bumpy feels like? Feels like your fingers are taking a ride on a roller coaster when you go on top of them. So I found different things that are bumpy here. Some cupcake liners, super bumpy. And some beads that if I put them together and put my fingers over, it feels like mountains. So we're gonna make a bumpy feather. Now, what are some other things you might look around and find that are bumpy in your house? I was thinking about cardboard. If you look at the underside of cardboard, it has some waves. So you might try adding that. Ooh, and some crit paper that you put like streamer when there's a party. That's super bumpy when you touch it. I'm gonna add some of that. And put some of these cupcake liners here. Now my house is filled with things that I don't throw away that I can use for art. So one suggestion I have is create a little art bin full of these little scraps and things that you might otherwise toss. So when it's time to make turkeys, you're ready to go. And I guarantee you, when it's time to make art of any kind, having a little stash of things, little treasures I call them, be a good idea. Okay, so here's my bumpy feather. We have 2 more to go and just a little bit of time. So my next texture that I want you to try to find is soft or smooth. Smooth. Now, what things are smooth? So I thought some foil. If you look at that and you touch it, it's very smooth. It is not bumpy at all, and you can smooth it out even more by putting it between your fingers. So I'm gonna put that there. And then I found little pieces of balloon. Now you never want to play with a balloon. This is something that your parents will help you with, but it's very smooth at the end. So I'm gonna put that there and put some more foil. Some more smooth things around your house could be pieces of paper. You might try that. All right, and we're on to our last turkey feather. Before I show you, we add our googly eyes. I show you the finished product and go to our recommended text. Some more glue down here. All right, last feather. And what texture do you think I'm gonna bring up? Fuzzy, this is my favorite one. Fuzz, fuzz, fuzz. Here we go. And we're gonna put some fuzzies down. I got some pipe cleaners, some different things that we can put on here to make our fuzzy feather. Now you can do any kind of texture that you would like for your textured turkey, but I think it'd be really fun to have a discussion about how things feel and have the sensory experience of being able to kind of run your fingers over it and have a different experience with it. Okay, last thing we need are some googly eyes. Now the big question, small or big googly eyes? I think big. Let's do some really gigantic ones. I like the really big eyes on the turkey because it makes it feel silly. Big eyes on the turkey, and then we have to do a beak, of course, and a wattle. So let's get our beak out with our orange paper. Again, you can use anything, maybe even some magazines with some orange. For my last project, I just cut out a little triangle. I'm gonna glue that on, and I'll show you the wattle, and then we'll get going with the finished product. Now, why do turkeys have wattles? Do you think you can investigate? Why do they have them? Why do they have feathers? Do turkeys fly? All of those really good questions I'm gonna ask you, our scientists that watch. Okay, last bit here. All right, glue, come on out. There we are, a little touch of glue. And here we are, voila, a textured turkey. So that's our 3rd turkey that we're making, 3 of 5 before we do our finger play together. It looks like we're gonna run out of time, but I wanna tell you what to bring if you wanna join me tomorrow and make another turkey. Tomorrow you'll need 2 ingredients, shaving cream and glue, and some food coloring. Actually, that's 3. and you're gonna mix it all together to make puff paint. So I'm gonna make puff paint turkeys. And I have a special guest, my friend Ben, who's gonna be a wonderful helper to come mix paint and make our turkeys together. All right, and before we go, I just want to tell you I haven't touched on the origins of Thanksgiving, but put that in your pocket and talk about it with your family. Here's some great books. Let's Celebrate Thanksgiving by Scholastic. And last one, Thanksgiving Is by Gail Gibbons. I hope that you check them out. Okay, come back tomorrow for some more fun. We'll see you then. Goodbye.